I just want to say, if you are a YouTube channel and you're recording your week 3 predictions before week 2 ends, you lose credibility. I was looking at week 3 predictions this week on YouTube, and I see like flooded of people doing it like before the end of Sunday's games. Guys, this is the real week 3 prediction. So without further ado, welcome back to the Sports Scoop, guys. We are doing our weekly NFL predictions, week 3. So we want to keep these videos coming for you guys. So make sure to keep supporting, subscribe, liking, and sharing with your friends, because we really, it means a lot, and it's free. Let's get into game number 1. Jaguars, Dolphins. DJ Chark actually was just, I believe, had a chest injury and I think was limited to practice. I still think the Jaguars, I have the Jaguars in this one. I think they're going to be really good because Minshew's playing well. That team's looking good. I think for what they have, they've been playing really well. Minshew's looking like that franchise quarterback for them. I have the Jaguars in a closer one, 27-24.
Yeah, the Jaguars have definitely been looking good, 1-1 in the first 2 weeks, which I think is better than a lot of people expected. But the Dolphins haven't looked terrible. They haven't been great. They've been kind of slow, like, to get the ball moving on offense, at least in week 1. But I am going to give this one to the Dolphins. I think that Ryan Fitzpatrick sort of connected with Devontae Parker last week. And I think the Dolphins are going to take this one 23-14.
Game number 2, Niners, Giants. I don't know if the 40, I heard, because how many, oh my God, the injuries last week. Really, like, prayers up to all those players. It's really awful. Nick Bosa with the ACL injuries out for the year. I know Solomon Thomas, Raheem Mostert, Garoppolo. This team has really went from a team that got the 2nd overall pick to Super Bowl and is now looking like they're really, this season is not looking good. Prayers up to all those players. Saquon Barkley's out with an ACL injury. Me and Charlie are Giants fans, so it's really devastating. Prayers up to all those players. Hopefully get better soon. So this one, I think still the 49ers have what it takes. I think they still have pieces, and I think Saquon is literally the Giants. So I have the Niners winning in not that high of a scoring one, 17-14.
Yeah, as you said, injuries have plagued both of these teams, and injuries like ACL tears for Nick Bosa, I believe Solomon Thomas, and Saquon Barkley, those are terrible injuries and not ones they'll recover from this season, unfortunately. And that's why I think the Giants are going to be really, really limited. But the Niners, as you said, have other weapons, which is why I'm going to give this one to the Niners. I think 21-17. I think could be close.
Next game, Washington football team, the team we are so high on, the team without a name, going up against the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield had a game he needed to win. I mean, really, the 2 first overall picks, I think if Mayfield didn't win that, bye-bye to him in Cleveland. Won the game, so his spot is secure, at least for now. I still think the Browns will go away with a win here. I have the Browns, they have the offense. Nick Chubb looked great last week. Kareem Hunt looks good. I have the Browns in this one, 27-17.
Yeah, the Browns looked like not so good in week 1. But again, they played the Ravens, so not all the teams look good that are playing the Ravens. But week 2, they looked much, much better. I think that Baker started proving he's a little bit better, but none of his receivers are really doing great. Odell's playing okay, and Jarvis Landry's really not playing very well at all. I think he doesn't even have 100 yards receiving this year. Chubb had a bad week 1, but rebounded in week 2. Kareem Hunt also, I think, could start returning to form. But yeah, I'm going to give this one to the Browns, 24-13.
Bengals, Eagles. Eagles really getting off to a bad start, 0-2. I think last or second to last in their division. Bengals look good. Joe Burrow's looking really good, looking like a good quarterback for this Bengals team. So I'm giving this one to the Bengals. I have the Bengals in this one in a really close matchup. It's going to be a shootout, 35-30.
Yeah, Wentz did not play very well last week, whereas Burrow has been the better of the 2 quarterbacks this season so far. I think that Miles Sanders, though, had a really good week last week. Aside from the fumble early, he started playing really well after the injury in week 1, which is why I'm going to give this one to the Eagles. I just don't think that the Bengals have a good enough defense to be able to stop if the Eagles just give it to Sanders. So I'm going to give this one to the Eagles, 31-21.
Bears, Falcons. Oh man, disaster in Dallas, looking like the Patriots. I don't know how that happens. I mean, I was watching the game and it's like Dallas had 2% chance of winning the game going into the second half and won it. Incredible, Dallas, whatever. I don't like you. Congrats. Bears, Falcons win this one. Trubisky 2-0, but he has a pretty easy record. So I think the Falcons break that winning streak, and the Falcons take this one 27-10.
Yeah, I think Trubisky's actually looked really good the past couple weeks. He had a really shaky second half against the Giants, throwing 2 interceptions. However, I think David Montgomery had a really good game running the ball against New York, but he did have a good game running, and he had a receiving touchdown. I do think, however, Calvin Ridley really showing off the talent. Does he have like 4 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks, 3 touchdowns? So I'm going to give this one, to the Falcons, 24-21.
Bills. Rams looking really good. They finally known how to use Goff, getting him out of the pocket, and he can throw well. He's athletic. His dad was a track star, so he's really athletic. Higbee played amazing. I believe I think he had 3 touchdowns or 4. Did he have even 4? I don't know. I think
he had 3
or 3. Incredible. Underrated tight end. Bills, good young defense, good coach, look good. Josh Allen looked really good. They finally learned how to control him after kind of being a bit lackadaisical in his past year. But I still have the Bills in this one. I think it's gonna be a close one. I think this defense is gonna be able to close out that offense. I have the Bills in this one, 23-17.
Yeah, I think Sean McDermott's doing a really good job nurturing Josh Allen. I think he threw 3 or 4 passing touchdowns last week, which is really great to see, because I know before the season he said he was going to try to run the ball less, but then he carried the ball the most times of any Bill against Jets in week 1. So I think Josh Allen has started off the season well, but the Rams have started off better, which is why I'm going to give it to the Rams, 24-21.
Texans, Steelers. Okay. Last week, they did win. This Texans team really, again, just that loss of DeAndre Hopkins has proven to be quite a big one, even with the receivers they've brought in. But I have the Steelers in this one. Unfortunately, the Texans are going down. I think, just the experience of Big Ben, Juju, I think it's going to be able to play well. So I have the Steelers in this one, 30-27.
Yeah, I think of all the quarterbacks in the league, Deshaun Watson is probably the hardest to take down in the backfield. He's so elusive back there, you just can't tackle him. However, the Steelers have one of the best defense, probably the best defense in the league, led by guys like TJ Watt and Minkah Fitzpatrick and Cameron Hayward. I just think that there's almost no way that Deshaun Watson is going to be able to get offense generated, especially without DeAndre Hopkins. They're really feeling his loss already. Steelers offense isn't great, but I think they'll be able to prevail in this one, 17-13.
Titans, Vikings not looking good. Did you see Cousins against the Colts?
Cousins threw 3 picks.
3 interceptions, a passer rating of, I believe, 16. Didn't have a touchdown either, 113 yards. Negative points in fantasy, negative 4.87. Not having a great start to the season. Titans looking good. The Titans are looking like the old Titans. Tannehill, 4 touchdowns. In the last games he's been with them, he's thrown, 25 touchdowns or 28 touchdowns and 5 picks. He's just really a quarterback that doesn't say much but plays well. Henry's not looking amazing, though. He's not looking like a repeat year. We'll see how that turns out. I have the Vikings this one. I think it's finally going to be time for the Vikings. I have the Vikings in this one, 28-25.
I'm very concerned for both of these teams right now. The Titans have gotten off to a good enough start. However, Henry has, I think, just about 200 yards in 2 games, and they're relying on Tannehill, what I think is way too much. I think he's kind of having a lucky start, and although he had a really good game last week, I think they're just much better off pounding the rock with Henry. It's what worked for them last year throughout the season and throughout the playoffs. I think they're better off doing that. But the Vikings, Kirk Cousins has not looked good with the absence of Stephon Diggs. Thielen hasn't stepped up to take over, and I'm just going to give this one to the Titans. I think Henry's going to finally start to get it going. Titans, 27-23.
Panthers, Chargers. Ooh, Justin Herbert. Look at him go. Wow, Tyrod Taylor, chest injury. almost beat the Chiefs. Two game-winning field goals, or two game-deciding field goals for Butker. Herbert's looking good. He threw an interception, but really Oregon kind of held him down and didn't really let him rush. They ran the ball a lot, didn't really let him get loose. In those last couple games with Oregon, they did, and now he's like, and he played incredibly. He's a 235 pounds athletic person. He can run and he can truck people, and he did that. So I think I have the Chargers in this one because the Panthers lost McCaffrey 4 to 6 weeks. Unfortunate, praise to McCaffrey. Hopefully he gets better soon because of my fantasy team will affect that. I have the Chargers in this one, 27-14.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. Justin Herbert looked really good last week. He had a touchdown on the ground, a touchdown in the air. He's just got the build of a pure quarterback. He's tall, he's athletic, he's got a really good arm. I think there's a bright future for him, and he's lucky that he got on the field so early. I mean, I don't think that the Chargers were planning on starting him for most of the season, and he's got on the field, and now they may keep him on the field. The Panthers, without McCaffrey, just no offense, in my opinion. DJ Moore is all right. Same with Robbie Anderson, maybe Curtis Samuel, a couple threats at receiver, but Teddy Bridgewater's just not a great quarterback, so I'm going to give this one to the Chargers, 31-17.
Next game, Jets, Colts. Colts playing well against the Vikings. Jets, whatever. Lost to a injury-ridden 49ers team. Really, I don't like talking about the Jets. Colts win this one for me, 30-20.
Yeah, the Jets have looked god-awful the past couple weeks. I think that Sam Darnold has no weapons to throw the ball to, especially with a couple of receivers going down with injury. No Le'Veon. The running game hasn't looked good. For the Colts, Jonathan Taylor looked really impressive last week. They pounded the rock. They just gave it to him a bunch, and he made good use of the chances he got, which is why I'm going to give this one to the Colts. A big week from Jonathan Taylor, 24-7.
Gase has got to go. If you're a Jets fan, still think Gase is a good coach, you shouldn't be a Jets fan. Gase
Nobody
has
ever
to go.
thought Gase was a good coach.
That's the reality of this New York Jets situation. Gase has to go for this team to succeed. Next game, good game. Cowboys Seahawks. I don't care what you say. Russell Wilson is the best player in the NFL right now. I think he's throwing for 9 touchdowns. What the hell? That's insane. That is incredible. Especially with good receivers, not great in DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Beating the Patriots in a goal line stand. Cam Newton was looking good. Although I think the Cowboys, got that lucky win against the Falcons. I have the Seahawks in this one. I think it's going to be another shootout. I think it's going to be the same score, 35-30 Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about one player from each of these teams. For the Seahawks, you mentioned Russell Wilson, but DK Metcalf, I think he has the build of, possibly the best receiver ever. Just the way he plays. He's 6'4", 229 pounds. The Cowboys, how about Dak Prescott? I know first quarter he did just about nothing. I think fantasy points wise he had 0, maybe 1 point heading into the second quarter. But then he ran for 3 touchdowns and threw one to give them the 1-point win against the Falcons. Phenomenal. I think Prescott's really starting off the season strong. However, I'm going to give this one to the Seahawks. A big game from Wilson, Metcalf, a little bit from Carson. I'm going to give this one to the Seahawks, another shootout, 42-37.
Lions, Cardinals, and how about that Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins duo? Incredible. 2 games together. DeAndre Hopkins has 22 receptions. He's really, really, really playing incredible. Kyler Murray is my underdog for MVP. Lions are looking okay. Kenny Galladay's still out. I have the Cardinals winning this one, 27-13.
Don't know exactly what the Lions are doing offensively. Matt Stafford hasn't had as strong of a start to the season as I thought he could, and they're playing with 3 running backs splitting carries, which I just don't think will work. They need one of them to have a good game. Throwing to DeAndre Hopkins now. The Cardinals are going to take this one, 27-14.
Now Brady and not Drew Lock. Broncos. Cortland Sutton's out with an ACL injury. Jerry Jeudy is your number 1 receiver. He's looking good, but I feel like not this year. He's the number 1 receiver. Brady's Buccaneers played great against the Panthers. Their gem, they found the treasure in Leonard Fournette, closing out that game. So I have the Buccaneers in this one, 31-20.
Yeah, I actually think that although Leonard Fournette had a really great game, he was not what they were looking for, and they were looking for Mike Evans. I think Tom Brady needs to have that number one receiver, because in a Tom Brady offense, you're going to be utilizing his arm and his ability to find the open guy. And when he's got someone as good and as big as Mike Evans, you're just going to have to use him as much as you can, which is why I think that the Bucs are going to try to just exploit Mike Evans against whoever at corner he's playing, and the Bucs are going to take this one 34-24.
Now, Chiefs-Ravens. Matchup of the century. No, I'm joking. Huge matchup. Two of the best teams so far. Each team looking really good. I think the key player in this is Chris Jones, interior, pressure against Lamar Jackson. If he can get to him quickly and, prevent Lamar from getting, out of the pocket and getting first downs. I think that rookie quarterback Snead, I think he's going to have to go up against Marquise Brown, play against him well. I was going to go with the Ravens. I think the Chiefs are just going to bring this one out just because of that roster. I think it's really good. Although the Ravens have a really good roster in a cap hold NFL, where it's really hard to have a roster with, all good, no holes. So I'm going with the Chiefs here, 23-20.
As much as I would, love to go against former Super Bowl champions, I like the Chiefs. I like Patrick Mahomes, but they are former Super Bowl champions. However, I just think that they're too good. They were running some sort of scheme with Tyreek Hill in the slot, running him deep, Kelsey underneath, some sort of triangle thing where they can find Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I don't really know how it works, but it was working for them against the Chargers, and I think Mahomes is just too good to stop. No matter how good your D-line is, he's got good weapons on his O-line, Mahomes. Although the Ravens are really good offensively, Lamar didn't have as great of a week last week, and he doesn't have, as always, a top receiver to throw to. Marquise Brown showed a little flash in week 1, but didn't do much otherwise, and I think he just wasn't great. So I'm going to give this one to the Chiefs, a bit of a shootout, 35-31.
Raiders versus the Patriots. Patriots looking good. Goal line, they were stopped on the goal line against the Seahawks. Cam Newton's looking really good. He's kind of, embracing this coaching system. He's being able, letting the Patriots coach them. Although I think the Patriots will definitely win this one. Raiders looking okay. Josh Jacobs is good. Winning against the Saints. I have the Patriots in this one, 28-20.
Yeah, I think the Raiders took it to the Saints, and I think they're going to be able to do it again. Josh Jacobs' production wasn't amazing last week. However, Darren Waller went crazy. I believe he had over 10 catches. And Derek Carr's been looking really good. So I think the Raiders are going to be able to win this one over the Patriots, who have looked okay, 27-17.
Moving on to the next game, where we have the Saints versus the Packers. Last prediction for us today. Packers looking good. Saints looking as well good. Devonta Adams didn't have a great game after having an amazing game in week 1. Drew Brees really kind of looking like a garbage can without Michael Thomas. Emmanuel Sanders not embracing that wide receiver 1 role at all. So I'm going to give this one. This is a tough one. I'm going to give this one to the Packers. Packers win this one for me, 37-35. Although
Aaron Jones has been looking phenomenal to start the season off, he really went off last week. And Devonta Adams and Aaron Rodgers, I'm still going to give this one to the Saints. I think Drew Brees is going to be able to rebound after an off week without Michael Thomas. I think he's going to be back, and I think they're going to win this one with the help of Alvin Kamara. Big game from him, 32-28.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to follow all of our socials, Instagram, TikTok, and go check out our podcast. They'll all be on the side of the screen here. Make sure to DM us. We'd love to talk sports with you, talk about the channel, anything. You guys have any questions, anything like that, we love to talk. We get DMs every day, and we try to respond to all of them. As well, subscribe, it helps us out, and it's free. So if you made it to the end of the video and you're not subscribed, click off, subscribe quickly, comment down below. We will respond to your comments, so comment down below your predictions, what you think about the video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.